Greetings. Look at the beard. Look at the beard. That's that shea butter. Niggas be asking me what to put on their beard to make it grow and shit. I think it's shea butter. It's not good for me to be eating late, but I like to eat. So I'm making some sandwiches. Yo. I don't give a fuck. Peanut butter and jelly ain't never hurt nobody. Try to get situated. Oh, God damn it. There we go. On this highway, let's go. Need that dribble for this long ride. Brooklyn in the building. Put it on a honey bun. Having an attack right now. I'm just going peanut butter and jelly crazy. So I was craving. Trey said there's some bullshit in the air, but I believe it. I was hoping that my Detroit followers tap in this evening. What in the fuck is going on? If you put it on a honey bun, you've been to prison. That's definitely a prison recipe. You gotta make a Biscoff. Oh man, you tripping. I need more people in here. Preferably from Michigan. Where y'all at? You motivated me with the burpee and now with the bike riding. I'm doing 100 push-ups a day on top of my workout. You got it? He said, what's next, a soup? Niggas be institutionalized. I was just in the store before I got on here and I was looking at the Snicker bars. And I was like, I can go months, probably years without eating a candy bar. But when you in jail, and I ain't been there in a long time, but I'm just saying, them shits is like gold in prison. You don't care about a Snicker bar on the street. In jail, motherfuckers be collecting them shits. He said, what's going on in Detroit? Niggas came up off the street lords. I've been hearing a lot of things. I've been tuning in. And I know a few things. I got a Detroit resume. I interviewed Icewear Vezo way before he became famous. Well, he was popping in the D, in that region. Cleveland, Ohio, Michigan, probably Cincinnati, shit like that. But now he's kind of like out there. This nigga sent me a super chat for $9.99. Appreciate you. Yeah. Icewear Vezo. Obi Trice. Royce the 5'9", Band Gang Mazo, Band Gang Moan, Um, Hope I ain't leaving nobody out. Stretch Money. There's others. You have to go through my you have to go through my resume. I'm just naming the people that I interviewed. Dig what I'm saying? He said, "Rest in peace, Band Gang Will." Y'all naming all of the Detroit people. Rest in peace, Jay Dilla. The best of hustlers was from Detroit. I was listening to a video earlier. I forget this cat name. He was light skinned, bald head. He got a channel. It ain't really popping yet, but he deserved a little following. He was kicking some real shit. He was kicking some real shit, and all of this stems from a channel and a YouTube personality by the name of Dogface. There's a lot going on over there, and I just been sitting back, taking it all in, and I've been waiting for my Michigan following to tap in, man, and kind of provoke me. He said, "Remember Blade?" Of course, of course. I got a lot of homies from Detroit, just hustlers and shit. They used to be playing that shit around me. I didn't think much of it. And this guy, he made a video earlier. He said that a lot of that music wasn't that good. It wasn't. The guys from Detroit that's really nice in music, they not like as famous as the ones that's the dope boy hustler type rappers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? He said Blade was that nigga, Juan was like the muscle. Dogface says Juan been pump faking. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of shit. I'm getting Taj Mahal vibes. I am. I am. He said that's facts. I never felt like people used to be, you know, most of them guys was like a Detroit thing. They was kind of popping in Detroit, but they didn't make it out of Detroit because, in my opinion, and this other guy, he said what a lot of people been thinking. They wasn't that good. The Street Lords and all of those guys, they wasn't that good. They had some good material. They had some good songs. They had good songs. They had a few good joints, but they didn't have the consistent library that these new Detroit rappers have, like T Grizzly, like Icewear Vezo, Peasy, 42 Doug. The new guys, they legitimately did it. They broke out of the city, but the guys that the predecessors, they reputations musically and shit like that, it was kind of exaggerated a little bit because they was hustlers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Big Herc was lyrical. Payroll and Peasy. I met Payroll before. I met Peasy before too. The Detroit scene was different back then. So yeah, what's trending right now is Detroit, and I'm Daryl Javon. I appreciate the super chat. I need somebody from the D to come in here, man, because I need somebody to kind of poke. I need somebody to poke and provoke me a little bit. I interviewed Royce the 5'9", and Royce the 5'9", I'm almost positive he said to me that his favorite rapper out of Detroit was Street Lord Juan. I had a couple conversations with Juan on IG. I spoke to him on the phone like once or twice too. We had intentions of possibly doing an interview at one point, but he was kind of spinning me. I feel that he was kind of spinning me, so it didn't happen and shit. He said, do Flint artists fall under Detroit too? No. The Flint artists had more success, more national success, in my opinion. You got MC Breed, who was like the king of Michigan hip hop, in my opinion, the king. Top Authority, who I interviewed on this channel, and the Dayton Family. Those groups had like mainstream success nationally and shit. I ain't hip with I ain't hip to what the city online politics is, but the city always spoke highly of the Cheddar Boys and the Street Lords. They did. They did. They did. They did. I had the pleasure of watching the DVD that them niggas had back in the day. And I don't know who DVD it was, but Blade and them was on there and they was doing that dance. Y'all know the Detroit dance. And in my opinion, the dance was more popular than the actual music and shit. Like, it just didn't resonate with me all like that. It didn't. And he said that dance is still a dance. I know. A couple of my Detroit niggas still be doing that shit sometimes. My man said, 100, I felt the same. Yeah. So recently, Jesse James, who was one of the Street Lords, he seems to be having a meltdown of some type. And he's launched some accusations. He took them back. Whatever the case, it's a civil war going down as far as hip-hop goes. Some old wounds have been opened up. And I need some Detroit niggas to come in here. The whole Midwest get money culture's on a whole another level. That dog face Jesse James shit was a bombshell. It's gotten really, really extreme. And it's been brought to our attention that I was shocked because people hold Street Lord Juan in a high regard. They said when he was in the penitentiary, he was on medication. They said he was on medication when he was in the penitentiary. I'm like, damn. Well, damn. And this goes back to this conversation that this guy had. I don't know his name. He got a nice channel, man. He light skinny, bald head. And he was saying how imagery corrupts people's judgment. And you see a lot of that in hip-hop. If somebody has a name associated with getting money of some type, people get wrapped up all into that and don't really like know the person. You just kind of like establish a judgment of their character or who they is based on what you're hearing. You know what I'm saying? And up under it, a lot of times these guys are undesirables. They're not really good people and shit. He said angry man. I don't know. I don't think that's his name. I don't know of his name. He said, okay, Detroit 313, Dogface don't understand. When Juan starts speaking, we gonna pick a side and we all gonna go with Juan. I don't know if he's gonna say anything. It seems like shit is kind of lopsided because it's a lot of scrutiny being aimed at him now. It's a lot of scrutiny being aimed at him now as well. Some accusations. The accusations started because Jesse James said possibly Juan has something to do with Blade being lined up to be killed and shit. And then I believe he took it back. I don't know, but once the internet got a hold of it, people kind of want to stand on that because some people felt that that's what actually possibly happened back then. They said dog ain't even from Detroit. Nah, he from down south somewhere. He said, I'm from here, Gully. Don't believe that hype. They saying that he was in the prison system with Tough Tone. And he didn't show any aggression. But after Blade got killed, they made songs talking about riding and what they'll do and, you know, wanting to put money on niggas' heads who did it and all of that. But come to find out, he was in the federal system with him. Do you believe that to be the truth? He said, damn, I ain't heard the name Tough Tone in a minute. Tough Tone was going off on them. He said, dog had bowls to shake for 300. Why did Blade get killed? I can't say why he got killed. From my perception, he seemed like he's actually supposed to be like a distant relative of mine on my father's side. He's a Lindsay. Family attend the same family reunions and shit like that. I never seen him when he was popping and shit. I was in jail. When I got out, he was like about to be killed and shit like that. But anyway, he seemed like a golden boy. He had the glow. He did. He had the glow. It's my understanding that he came from money. I don't know whether it's people, his lineage had a long line of hustlers or they was working people and shit like that. I can't confirm that, but he just seemed like he had the glow. He smiled a lot. He was good looking. Seemed like he was like popular. One of the traits that a quarterback or a point guard would have. Blade had that. And niggas like that, they attract dark personalities. They do. They do. They said Dogface is from Detroit. I thought he was from down south somewhere. He had that west side shit about him, the east more grimy. Blade is the most popular out of Detroit. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not. I think for the most part, especially in this generation, T Grizzly is a lot more popular than Blade. When we having this conversation about somebody like Blade Icewood, you're speaking of a certain generation. He's been dead probably over 20 years. So that will remove a lot of the people that's online today from the conversation. Blade came from a long line of family hustlers. And Dogface not from Detroit, he's from the outskirts. Could you expand what do you mean about attracting dark personalities? Haters. I don't know why you couldn't read between the lines and shit. Niggas that be hating and shit. You know what I'm saying? He struck me as the type of nigga that'll bag a lot of bitches and shit like that. He, if you seen this DVD that they had back in the day, you could just tell he was the man. If you paid attention how the rest of the street lords, like the way that they were flanking him, he was almost like, he had a lot of magnetism with him. And heavy is the head that wears the crown and shit. That's what I mean by attracting dark personalities. He just struck me as somebody who would attract a lot of haters and shit. Peace. Vegas Strong, I holla at you, pimp. Have a good evening. Bro needs to claim that shit. I'll make Beyonce lose her breath. Have Ashanti on the news saying Icewood, please. So, yeah, getting back to what I was saying. It's a civil war going on in Detroit right now. I don't know how long this is going to go on, but it seemed like, I ain't going to lie, I'm just listening. A lot of the shit the Dogface is saying, it makes sense to me. If you got good common sense, it seems to make sense to me. It does. Getting back to Juan, right? Now that the focus is on him, and Jesse James said that they were in a position to ride for Blade, and Juan wasn't really with it. He was on some, like, what if we get killed, or what if they get us, or some shit. Like, he wasn't the same person that he seems to be on a track. And because of that, it has made people on the outside kind of scrutinize him, where he came from, who he is, and whether he's known for ever putting in any work himself. How do you feel about the interview from today? You talking about the joint with Dre Carter? Is that what you're talking about? He said, "Dog faces the Midwest Whack 100. Stay stirring up shit. If it comes out that he lined Icewood, it's fucked up." Jesse James said it. Then it seemed like he tried to like take it back. But there was people who felt it was a possibility. This is something that I heard a long time ago. I don't know. He was known as Plug, or an old nigga from a legendary group. He said, Whack 100 is going to find himself in the middle of this Detroit politics soon. Mark my words. A lot of them is not who they say they are as rappers. Dog faces from Flint. These old niggas need to get off the internet. One of the things that Jesse James said that has a lot of people in the uproar is that they paved the way for rappers who came after them in Detroit. There's nothing that we know to support that. And I could say this from my experience interviewing them Detroit niggas. Them niggas that came after the Street Lords and the Cheddar Boys, they came up on their own. They did not come in on the coattails of them niggas. They didn't. I think one of the things that really helped them, the new guys, was doing work and doing songs with people outside of Michigan, outside of Detroit. The guys, the predecessors, the Street Lords and the Cheddar Boys and shit like that, that was almost something that was self-contained within the city, in my opinion. No, they didn't. They wasn't even rappers. We had real rappers back then, Slum Village. Juan got the youngsters. No. One of the questions is being posed is, if Blade was still around, would he have that same influence? And did he benefit by Blade not being around anymore? Gully, I rock with you strong, but you off on this one. I ain't said nothing. I haven't made a statement of my own, but the younger rappers did not come in on the tails that they did not. Icewear and them did not. Icewear, Vezo, Peasy, Team Eastside, they was calling themselves at a point in time. They did not come into the game on the coattails of no Cheddar Boys or Street Lords. Them niggas was doing their thing on their own. They benefited heavily from social media, which wasn't really a thing back then. When the Street Lords and the Cheddar Boys was around, social media wasn't popping like that. So again, what they was doing was contained within the city. You dig what I'm saying? They wasn't able to develop no fan base from people tuning in to Instagram, TikTok, and shit like that, because there was none available back then. How do you think them younger dudes got all the Midwest plugs though? What the hell are you talking about? You talking about some drug shit? I'm talking about music. Life Gambler said Detroit rap didn't pop till these new cats for real. Exactly my point. I'm 27, Gully. We made our own lane. Peasy built their own buzz. I watched them niggas build their own buzz. I watched it with my own eyes. I got a video on this channel at Icewear Vezos release party when Big Meech called on the phone. That's on my channel and shit. He's talking to Big Meech on the phone. I watched them niggas build their own infrastructure by themselves. There was not no older niggas around. A lot of them niggas were still in jail and shit like that. My man said, yeah, all the young turned Detroit rappers love Juan, but Juan ain't line Blade. They know the bodyguard driver line Blade up for Little Larry to hit Blade. Okay, Lamar, I appreciate that. I said I needed some Detroit niggas in here in order for this to go right. Because a lot of my following, they didn't keep track of the work I did with the Detroit artists and shit. But it's on this channel. It is. Street Lords was going to Indiana, all them towns before anybody. I seen DiVincenzo, he was beefing with somebody. I think it was Jalen Brunson's father. I don't know what that was about. I got to look further into that. He seemed upset, though. Blade still got the D doing the Blade dance. Clevo Max said the young rappers made their own lane. Exactly. Didn't 42 Doug have some type of relationship with CMG? Travis Jordan, I appreciate your super chat. Detroit rappers wasn't getting big artists on their albums before them. What big artists did the Cheddar Boys work with? Or the Street Lords? Pull my coat. Rock Bottom was the better street rapping clique, but the Street Lords was bigger. Was the Street Lords bigger because they was flossing more? He said, yeah, Doug signed to CMG. I know that. I just needed somebody to come in here and confirm it. I know that to be the truth. And this is what I mean by the younger generation paved their own way. 42 Doug didn't get on by way of nobody from Detroit. He didn't. He didn't. Street Lords had Nelly and Cash Money features. I thought I knew one of them groups to do something with BG for some reason and shit. E40, Yuck Mouth, Jim Jones, Beans, Too Short. Thank you. Priest, is that you? Everything that you just said to me, I believe that information that you have is privy to you because you from Detroit. And that's what I mean by everything that they was doing back then was contained within Detroit. I don't feel that the rest of the world was privy or in tune with what them niggas was doing. Because we have social media now. The new rappers from Detroit that popped off is more of a more nationally recognized because of social media and shit. That's how I knew about that shit with CMG. From the internet. Dirty Glove Entertainment. He said, nah, people didn't know them. I know that nobody know them. I know nobody. He said, we didn't hear them up top, New York, New Jersey. I know they didn't. Because I remember during the DVD era, them niggas had a DVD. It was, I don't know if they did it themselves, but I seen the DVD. Them niggas they had the fucking rims that spin around and shit. They had their little jewelry on. They had the money. They was doing the blade dance and shit like that. But the only reason I seen that shit is because I was around some hustlers from Detroit that, you know, they showed it to me and shit. But that was just like basically the local Detroit scene. It wasn't a national conversation at the time. He said, boy, boss up and get this money. That was the name of the track. Would you? What city made the Cartiers pop first? Detroit is going to 100% claim the Cartier frames, but they wasn't the first ones wearing it. Everybody was wearing them shits in the early 90s. Nature rapped about them. Ballhead Kid, Cartier frames, the latest Pippins. Anybody that has some money was wearing them joints. That's the truth. Detroit did take it and took it. Detroit took it to another level and made it religion. So I'll give it to Detroit. But niggas with money, niggas that had money was rocking Cartier frames and shit. Graham said everybody made them pop. You can't tell that to a Detroit nigga. He said we popularized them in Detroit. I ain't about to argue with no Detroit niggas about Cartier. But I'm in tune, man. I'm in tune. I know about Zeemans and shit. I know about Zeemans. They was the pawn shop. I was hearing about that shit. Like I said, I was around some Detroit hustlers and shit, and they was telling me, man, about is Zeemans still open? He said they didn't even know how to put diamonds in them. Detroit probably did that. He said, yeah, we've been doing it in the South before Detroit. He said, I just wanted to start something. D got a nice lineup of young talent that's holding their own. All-Star Junior, one of my favorite out the young boys. My man said, I got shit in Zeemans right now. T Grizzly and Dave Low kicked off the new era. Dave Loaf and T Grizzly did do a lot for the new generation. It was some. I think I knew about Peasy and Vezo before T Grizzly, but T Grizzly had that smash hit. I forget the name of it. Y'all know the song I'm talking about. Big Sean, can't forget about him. Can't forget about Boldy James. I see your old footage here at City Slickers. You know what's up. Eminem is a non-factor in Detroit. I knew somebody was gonna come in here and say that. First Day Out is the name of the song. Thank you. Eminem is a non-factor in Detroit. I done covered hip-hop down there. Them niggas don't even acknowledge him. They don't talk about him or nothing. Only person that his name even came up in a conversation was Royce the 5'9". I interviewed Royce, and Royce said, I think Royce told me, he said, I was never signed to Eminem. He said, people think that I was signed to him. I never was signed to him, but we just did music together and shit. He said, Boldy is the best rapper to come out the D. That's not true. They said it's LZ. Ain't that his name? Priest? Is Priest still in here? My Detroit niggas. This LZ, right? Ain't that his name? Esham. LZ. That's his name, right? LZ. Exactly. I'm just basing this off of the guys I interviewed who they mentioned. But Royce the 5'9", he did mention Street Lord Juan is one of his favorites. I went and listened to a song that Juan has today because I never really heard him musically all like that. It was solid. I forget the name of it. It was about robbery. That's the name. So Far Gone. I listened to that today because somebody referenced that song, said that I should listen to that song, and they said that song is proof that he's a slime ball. They told me to go listen to that song. They said that song is evidence that he's a slime ball, and everything that they saying about him, you can hear it on that song. Yeah, they said he got a dark mind. Yeah. What's the dude named the light skinned nigga who got the interview? He got the video out right now. He kicking some shit. Dogface posted it, man. He light skinned, he got a beard. Oh man, I wish I knew this dude's name because y'all need to hear that. Y'all need to hear that. He said KDZ was hard. I just was in a movie with KDZ and shit. I didn't bring up no hip hop shit to him or nothing and shit. We just did the work and that was it. Find that dude name, homeboy. He said, I know who you talking about. Juan is dope. Go listen to King, Lord of Lords, and Yes, So Far Gone side show his dark side. They saying that he was on medication in prison, and they implying that the shit that Jesse James said is possibly true, even though he retracted some of the shit that he said. They said it's possibly true, and evidence of him being a slime ball is on that song So Far Gone. As KDZ is a street lord. I just was in a movie with a bunch of Detroit people. Eminem ain't even from Detroit. He said, you're right. My cousin from the D put me on the D as far as their local rappers back in the early 2000s. That's how I was familiar with Blade. He said, Trap Talk Blue. I think that's his name. I interviewed Stretch Money on his channel. I interviewed Obi Trice on his channel. I needed y'all opinion on how y'all feel about what's going on right now. Do y'all think that this will damage the legacy of the Street Lord, seeing as though Jesse James and Juan went through this little spat? I'm all ears. My man said, I'm from Joy Road. I'm just shaking my head. Life Gambler said it was only a matter of time. Promise you, Gully, when it's time to pick a side, Juan gonna win. Dogface was right about one thing. The awards for Detroit hip-hop go to all those names he said. I ain't mad at what Detroit doing musically right now. Detroit's popping musically right now. They have been for probably like the last 4 years. I'll say 4 years. Yeah, it's sad to see what they're going through. Solid Gold Shane said it's a dangerous topic. It is dangerous. Priest said, stop it. M used to be on 7th and Runyon heavy. Eminem ain't part of the Detroit rap story, pimp. Eminem ain't part of the he's not a part of the Detroit rap story. It's hard for me to put him in there. It's the knowledge that I have of it, it's just hard. Did you hear Fat Man Scoop verse on the new Diamond D shit? It's nice. I'm not surprising. He might have said something about PA Knit in that verse. I gotta hear that verse. I'm not surprised because I used to hear Fat Man Scoop rap all the time and shit. Eminem is more New Jersey than Detroit. He was with the Outsiders. Once M started talking about his moms, he lost all of us. We don't even talk about it in Detroit. The internet is dangerous. They saying that only reason that Jesse James brought this shit to the internet, they said that he broke now and desperate for attention. Do y'all agree with that? It did come out of the blue. Gully, thanks for the Angel Reese video. I was keeping it real. It needed to be said. Eminem is from Missouri. Another popular Detroit jewelry home invaded today and killed. They got a culture of taking hits. That's definitely a part of the Detroit landscape, hitmen and shit like that. They do play that game. Jesse ain't know how them YouTube streets get. Yeah, that shit got intense on his ass real fast and shit. I reached out to him. I reached out to Juan some time ago and shit. He didn't. I don't know. I'm going to just stand down. Because the way he switched his story up, Jesse James was going in one direction, and then when them YouTube streets hopped on his ass, he started going in another direction. I'm like, I don't want to get mixed up into that. He's not sure about he's not sure about what he want to say. He's not standing on it. They brought that paperwork he had on him. Yeah, they did. They did. He couldn't handle it. That shit got hot. I knew when he said out of his mouth that Juan helped set up Blade. I knew that was gonna be. I knew the oven would. I knew it was gonna get hot very, very fast. When I heard him say that, my ears stood up from the door. I was tuned in. I'm like, ah! Yeah. Everybody trying to come up on some type of money nowadays. I'm not surprised. If it's dangerous, it's really not worth it. This shit is deep. I feel bad for Little Blade and his sister having to relive all of this shit. I agree with you. The internet is undefeated. Jesse is like Blue Da Vinci, making accusations, then boom, they hit the fan. Kid Rock is racist. It's proven. I remember Lady Blade, she was rapping for a minute. She's still a rapper. His son, Little Blade, he got the he got control of Blade's record label. I forget the name of it. Indictments is getting printed up now. I don't think no court proceedings gonna come out of it because a lot of this shit was a long time ago. People done died and shit like that. If anything happens, it's probably gonna be some street shit. He said Champtown is corny. I think it's gonna be some street shit. He said that part. But listen to this though, right? According to Dogface, Juan was in the federal penitentiary with Tough Tone, who Blade accused of possibly, on a song, possibly being responsible or connected with him being the home invasion shooting that paralyzed him and shit like that. Said that Juan was in the same penitentiary with him and he didn't get busy. Then he went as far as saying that he was on medication. I think Juan should say something at some point, because this shit is starting to snowball. He said, yeah, Tone was making diss songs left and right on him. RJB8129, eating on live is corny. Eat a dick. How about that? Now get the fuck out my chat. Chill. My Joy Road people had me in a loop back then, all about that shit. Juan just got home not too long ago. I knew that was coming. Yeah, I hate niggas coming in here trying to regulate shit. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want here. Dre Carter did that home invasion. Tough Tone was capping like he was one to put in the work, but it was all cap. Some people in here, it's kind of like trying to attack Dogface credibility, and they saying he not from the city, and that's probably true. I don't know. Some people say he from down south. Somebody in here said he was from Michigan. Somebody in here said he was from Flint. But he do got Dre Carter on his channel right now, which seems to give him a level of credibility. What y'all say? What y'all got to say about that? Alabama. I felt that I knew it was from the South. Somebody said he was from the South. I didn't know exactly which state or town, city he was from. That's how the beef started with him. Blaze said in the song, I was laughing that night your little boss got flamed. He from Pontiac too. You heard him in the interview say that the last one to see Blade before he got put in a chair, and he been bragging in the pen about it for years. Oh, I peeped that he was speaking in code. You just cleared that up for me. Okay. So it's almost like he admitted to it in an interview. And he said something about his 45 too. He was talking real slick, but I get it. Lamar Green, thank you. He was speaking in code. Now I got to go back and listen to that shit again. Damn, that was some cold shit to say in an interview. Damn. These niggas is on mob time. He said Dre Carter said a lot in 8 minutes. He was talking slick. And he was talking slick. He was talking slick for sure. And I was picking up on some of the shit he said. He said something about his 4-5. Let my 4-5 speak. Or some old shit. Some shit. He said, damn, I just realized that when you said it too. When he said 100 shots of liquor, he was talking about 100 rounds. Now I got to go listen to it again. Damn. He said he was saying a lot of shit in that interview. It was coded. When you re-listen, you're going to be like, oh, yeah. Nah, that makes sense. That made sense what you just said. He did say he was the last one to see him. He did say that before he got put in the wheelchair. Shh. Damn. He said, what interview? It's on Dogface Calderon's channel. It's an 8-minute, it's like an 8-minute, 30-second interview and shit. Dude calling in from the penitentiary. He's serving natural life. He said the parole board gonna love that audio. He doing life. He doing life. He said, yeah, and if you're from the D like us, he was saying a whole lot. I picked up on some of that slick shit he was saying. I just didn't pick up on that when he said that he was the last one to see him. Damn. Marley Martega said you love jailbirds. Eat a dick. He said, and you would have met my Kimber. Yeah. I'm ready to get up off of here and go listen to that joint now because I got to hear it again. Knowledge is power. Thank you. The little guy he said he's seen twice. He said he just seen him 2 years ago. That was Little Larry. I knew he was talking about Little Larry in that part. I did. I know that. I knew exactly who he was talking about when he said the little guy. I picked up on that part. I've been here for 50 minutes. I came to converse. I came to get some information from you niggas from Detroit too, cause y'all provided the footnotes. Thank you. Now I'm gonna go back and listen to this Drake Carter interview again, and we might continue this tomorrow. Cause this shit is heating up. Hopefully don't nobody get hurt. Maybe it'll be diffused. You know, time heals all wounds and shit, but he said, thanks, I'm about to replay this video. Whose podcast? Dogface Calderon. If you can't find him on YouTube, and you will, Dogface. Just type in Dogface, you'll find it. It's like his last upload. It's with a dude named Drake Carter, though. Listen to it. I'm about to go listen to it myself because now I got to go fill in the blanks and shit. But anyway, Priest, I appreciate y'all. He said Dogface TV. Okay. The homies from the D, I appreciate y'all. He said, Gully, look up Petty Tupac. I was on Petty Tupac's channel this morning. I've always liked his content. He always talking about the Moors and shit like that. And I looked up his video. I listened to his video speaking about why nobody ever retaliated against Little Larry. I guess he a gangster in the penitentiary. So I've been doing, trust me, I prepared myself before I got on here with y'all. I'm not going to come on here half-stepping because I know this shit is serious. I'm not going to get on here and look like a damn fool, like I'm not in tune. This ain't that. But anyway, I'm about to get up off of here. Y'all have a great evening. I got to go listen to this Drake Carter interview again. And I probably will revisit this conversation tomorrow. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get the notifications. Follow me on Instagram at IamGullyTV_. I got to go listen to this Drake Carter shit again. Peace.